The poem we are going to learn today is the Ball poem written by John Berryman. John Berryman was an American professor, scholar, and a poet. He was best known for his work, The Dream Songs, which is a sequence of 385 poems. So, John Berryman was an American person who was a professor by profession. He was also a scholar, and besides being a professor and a scholar, he also had the passion of writing poetry. He was very best known for his work, that is, the Dream Songs, and it is said that it is a collection of 385 poems. He won a Pulitzer Prize for this work and National Book Award. It has been observed that he had invented a new style and form where he was seen expressing his turbulent emotions. So, because of the famous work, he had won a Pulitzer Prize. Along with it, he also won the National Book Award. Now, each and every writer have their own style. They have their own form of writing. So also John Berryman was a person who had invented a new style of writing and a new form. And in most of his works, it has been observed that his emotions were a little bit turbulent, or we can also say he was a little bit unstable in a state of mind. So the public had observed this thing that he mainly expressed his turbulent emotions. Berryman suffered mentally when he saw his father commit suicide in front of him when he was only 12. This event haunted him throughout his life and recurred as a subject in his poetry. So it is obvious for a very small boy to be mentally disturbed because he had seen his father committing suicide in front of him, and that also when he was only 12. So he was mentally shocked and he was unstable. This even had really haunted him that even when he was big enough or when it was time for him to write the poetry, he took it as a subject. And as told earlier in the earlier paragraph, that he expressed his turbulent emotions in most of his writings. So we can see that in most of the works, we can see the turbulent emotions is mainly related to his father. It is also not only turbulent emotions, we can also say a deep feeling. He was a little bit philosophical whenever he wrote his writings. This is a very beautiful poem about a small boy who was busy playing with a ball, and all of a sudden the ball fell into the river. But once the ball fell into the river, the boy was really very much upset. It was so much innocent that it did not think that it could buy another ball. Rather, it was indulged in the ball that was lost into the river. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What? What is he to do? I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street and then merrily over. There it is in the water. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. So the poet was standing in one corner and then he was observing the things. He saw the boy's reaction, and now the poet was questioning himself that what would the boy do now because he had already lost the ball. See, what is the boy now who has lost the ball? That means, what is the boy's reaction now? What is he feeling deep inside? What is he to do? Maybe he would be buying a new ball, or he is thinking about the lost ball. I saw it go merrily bouncing. Now, the I here is the poet who was thinking and who was observing the things. So, the poet saw the ball merrily bouncing down into the street and then down into the river. So, the ball crossed the street and it directly fell into the water. And now, what was no use of saying? Oh, there are other balls. That means it is no use of saying that yes, there are so many other balls. I can also buy other balls. So, since the boy was very much upset at that moment, the poet was thinking that the boy's condition may be, or the boy's reaction may be, there are other balls, but I would not be able to buy some other balls. There is no use because maybe the small boy had much memories related to the ball. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. I would not intrude on him. Some of us may think that this is just a ball. It went into the river. So what? Another ball can be bought. But just imagine the boy. He was very much small. He was filled with innocence. He did not know that once the ball fell, he would buy another one, or his parents would help him in buying another one. So just imagine your first instance when you lost something in your own life. There are a number of times when we were small, or there may be any one case where you lost something and you cried very badly. I still remember mine. I lost a thing and I was very much sad because I didn't know at that moment that I would be able to get another one. So also same is the case with the boy. Maybe after the ball was lost, maybe after he went home, his parents have said something to console him. But before that, at that moment when he was in the field, when he lost the ball, there was no one to console him. The only thought that he had in his mind was that he would not be able to get another one, or he would not be able to get the same ball that was lost into the river. Who will swim and then bring him the same ball with which he played during his childhood days? So that's why he was filled with sadness. He was very much upset. Once the ball fell into the river, the boy was deeply shaken in grief. He was very much sad. All this time he had been playing merrily with the ball, but all of a sudden the whole thing changed. He stood firm in the place and was observing how his ball was floating in the river, and all of a sudden it went deeper and deeper. It was just staring down at the ball and doing nothing else. He was that much grief that he could not do anything. He could not cry or he could not express his emotion because he was all alone at that moment. Now, in the third line, it said that all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. Now, why is this sentence said that all his young days into the harbor? His ball actually fell into the river. So, why is this metaphorically changed and then said as his young days into the harbor? It is so because all the time or all his childhood days he had much memories related playing with the ball. So he really loved playing with the ball. And when that ball went down into the river, he was shaken in grief. That's why the sentence is all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. And I would not intrude on him. Again, here, the I is the poet who was observing from a corner. And the poet was thinking that he would not intrude on him. Intrude in the sense he would not interfere in the boy's matter. He would not come and disturb the boy's emotion related to the ball. A dime, another ball, is worthless. Now he senses first responsibility in a world of possessions. People will take balls. Balls will be lost always. Little boy. The poet was now thinking that a new ball can be bought with a dime. Now, what's the meaning of a dime? It is 10 cents that is used in US. Many of you can think that dollar is the currency of US. So, what is the difference between dime and cent and dollar again? So, just to be clear, that dollar is much more larger than cent. Or I can also give another example. 100 cent is equal to $1. Remember this thing, 100 cent is equal to $1. So 10 cent will be dime. It's a small amount, so that's why it will be 10 cent is equal to dime. So with that amount, a new ball can be bought. But it was totally worthless for the boy because he had much more emotions related with the ball that fell into the river. Now he senses his first responsibility in a world of possessions. The poet was thinking all these things. He was thinking that yes, the boy would now sense, he would now have a sense that what is his responsibility? How should he play with the ball that it should not fall into the river? He should be very careful with his own belongings, with his own possessions. Now, slowly, the boy would realize his mistake and he would not commit next time. He would be able to know that what are the things that should be kept carefully and what not. Earlier, he was very much innocent that he didn't know about all these things. But since it was his first time, it was for the first time that he had lost something very special to him, something that he loved very much. So it was time for him to sense his responsibility in a big world of possessions where many things are of our own and many are not. He would now know which are to be carefully kept and which not. People will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy. Again, the poet was thinking on his own, and he was murmuring on his own that, yes, little boy, it is now the right time for you to know that many balls will be lost in such a way. Many balls will be bought once again, but you should have your own responsibility. You should be able to stand up and be strong enough rather than breaking down because everything cannot be bought with money. And no one buys a ball back. Money is external. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes the epistemology of laws, how to stand up knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days. Grow to stand up. The poet was thinking on his own that a ball cannot be bought back once it is lost. Money is external in the sense all the things can be bought with money. All the things in the sense all the luxurious things of life can be bought using money. But when it comes to lost, money cannot help us. It cannot bring back our feelings and emotions towards that particular thing that we have. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes the epistemology of laws. The boy saw with his own very eyes the loss that was caused. He clearly understood the epistemology of laws. That means he got the knowledge of nature that when a thing is lost, it cannot be ob- obtained back. In the sense, if a luxurious thing is lost, it can be bought back using money or it can be repaired. But when an emotion is related to the lost, it cannot be obtained once again. Here, the boy has to stand up again because he has to be strong. He needs to know the responsibility that he has towards the thing or towards the object. Do you remember the page where I talked about the writer in the second paragraph? Berryman lost his father when he was only 12. It was at that very moment that he lost his childhood days. His mother remarried and they had much financial problems at that moment. He was haunted for that event and later recurred as a subject in his poetry. In most of his poetry, he had written such topics where he was able to express his turbulent emotions. I hope you could remember or recall all those things. So, just see the last line, the last two lines. Knowing what every man must one day know. He was trying to think on his own that it was the perfect time for the boy to stand up and know his responsibilities that he was not able to do when he himself was a little child, when his father committed suicide. The poet could not stand up at that moment. That's why, for a long time, After a long time, he was able to stand up with much difficulty, with much haunting in his mental life. He was mentally down. He was in a type of trauma because he has seen a person commit suicide in front of him. So he didn't want the boy to commit the same mistake just for the loss of the ball. He didn't want the boy to be deep down in negativity or to be shaken in grief. He wanted the boy to stand up and know the world where not all laws can be bought with money. And that's why the sentence is said, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days grow to stand up. So the last line, it may be referred to the poet himself, John Berryman, because it took for him many days to grow up, to stand up, to be matured enough, and to understand the real world. The ball here can be many things to each and every one of us. It can be the most loved ones, or it can be the most loved family member. When they die, we cannot buy them back. Money is only external, it can only buy the luxurious things. So we should be good to each and every one of us because we don't know when would the life end for each and every person. So the lesson that we get here is we should remain positive. We should know how to stand up in times of difficulty. Whatever obstacle may come in our midst, we should know how to tackle the problem and stand up. Be matured enough and not shed our tears only. As we all know that the show must go on. Whatever may happen, the show must go on. So don't be downhearted, don't be upset. Stand up and remain positive always.